Let's talk about one of the biggest puzzles in the entire working world, job satisfaction. I mean, why is it that some people are genuinely excited to start their day, while others are just living for the weekend? We're going to break down the two major blueprints that companies are using to try and solve this very puzzle.
You've definitely thought about this, right? We all have. Is it just a paycheck, a fancy title, or is there something, deeper going on? Something about who we are and the actual work we do? Well, it turns out the answer isn't just about the job. It's really all about the fit. So to really see what I mean, let's meet two people. Over here, we've got Sarah from Toronto. She's super social. She loves being part of a team. She's got that high energy. Her job at a busy cafe, it's perfect for her. Her personality is a fantastic match for that buzzing, people-first environment. Now let's meet Alex from Tokyo. He's more introverted, loves digging into complex problems. As a software developer, he gets that deep focus time he craves. See? In both of these cases, their happiness at work comes from this powerful sense of fit. But this really simple idea of fit creates this absolutely massive, high-stakes dilemma for companies everywhere. Do you go out and find the perfect people, or do you try to build the perfect environment? Getting this right, that's literally a billion-dollar question.
And here it is. This is the paradox at the very heart of modern management. Is the secret to a happy, productive team all about hunting for those perfect puzzle pieces like Sarah and Alex who just click right into place? Or is it about designing a workplace so well, so thoughtfully, that all kinds of different people can find their groove and do amazing work? To try and answer that, experts have basically developed two completely different blueprints for building a happy workforce. Let's break them both down. Okay, so first, let's get on the same page about the foundation for one of these approaches, personality. Just think of it as your own stable set of traits that kind of guides how you interact with the world. You've probably heard of the Big Five traits, stuff like how extroverted or introverted you are, or how conscientious versus spontaneous you might be. That's what we're talking about here.
And that brings us to these two competing strategies. On one side, you have the Find 'em strategy. It's officially called Person-Organization Fit. The idea here is simple. Hire people whose personalities and values already match your company's culture. The whole game is about selection and hiring. But on the other side, you've got the Build It strategy. This one is based on something called the Job Characteristics Model. It argues that true satisfaction comes from the work itself, so the focus isn't on hiring, it's on designing great jobs.
This Build It idea isn't new at all. The legendary management thinker Peter Drucker absolutely nailed the philosophy behind it decades ago. He said that a manager's main job isn't to try and change people's personalities. Nope, it's to be an architect, to design a system and roles that make people's strengths shine and their weaknesses, well, basically irrelevant.
So how do you actually build a job that's motivating? Well, the Job Characteristics Model gives us this awesome 5-part recipe. First, skill variety, so you're not just doing the same mind-numbing task all day. Second, task identity, which means you can see a project through from start to finish. Third is task significance, that feeling that your work actually matters to someone. Fourth, autonomy, the freedom to make your own calls. And finally, feedback, so you actually know how you're doing. A job with these 5 things is just naturally reward. Okay, so theory is great, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's take a look at how two tech giants, Netflix and Shopify, put these completely different strategies into practice. When you put these two side by side, the contrast is just, wow, it's night and day. Netflix is the ultimate example of person-organization fit, the Find Them strategy. They see themselves as a professional sports team. Their whole strategy is to hire only what they call fully formed adults who are already superstars. Shopify, on the other hand, has really leaned into the Job Characteristics Model. They're a team on a main quest, and they focus on designing these high-impact roles where the work itself is the core motivator.
And the Keeper test? This is the ruthless, beating heart of Netflix's strategy. It's this constant high-stakes question managers ask themselves. If an employee were to leave, would you fight hard to keep them? If the answer is no, they're let go. It's an incredibly intense filter designed to make sure only the perfect fit remains on the team.
Now, Shopify's story is really fascinating because they actually made a big pivot. They deliberately moved away from a cozy family culture to a more focused team culture. How? By doing things like stripping away tons of meetings so people could prioritize these high-impact main quests. It was a huge strategic bet on the Build It model, a bet that meaningful, autonomous work is the real key to success. So, we've looked at the theories, we've seen Netflix and Shopify go head-to-head. What's the big takeaway here? How should any of us, especially modern leaders, think about solving this job satisfaction puzzle?
It really comes down to 3 key principles. First, be an architect. Your job isn't to find perfect people or engineer their personalities. It's to design a system where diverse people can truly excel. Second, you've got to balance the equation. It's not one or the other. Use the Find Them idea for your non-negotiable core values, but use the Build It model to design the actual jobs. And third, define fit dynamically. It shouldn't be about finding a bunch of clones of your existing team. It should be about finding people who share a commitment to growth and learning.
But just when we think we're getting a handle on this, a brand new player is entering the game: artificial intelligence. The next great challenge for leaders won't just be managing people. It'll be about managing the partnership between people and AI.
And this new partnership is probably going to flip the script on the personality traits we value most at work. For years, being conscientious, reliable, diligent, predictable, was king. But as AI takes over more of the routine tasks, that might become less important. Instead, a trait like openness to experience, things like creativity, curiosity, being comfortable with ambiguity, that could become way more valuable.
Which leaves us with one final, massive question to think about. When your most efficient, most productive teammate isn't even a person, but an algorithm, what will a satisfying day at work even look like? What will fit and motivation and satisfaction even mean in the workplace of tomorrow? That's a puzzle we're all going to have to solve together.